Halloween versus Dia de Muertos, Americans versus Mexicans, Celtic culture versus Aztecs. Well, it's not that hard, so welcome back people, my name is Emiliano, and today we're gonna talk about Halloween versus Dia de Muertos. It is very curious that Halloween and Dia de Muertos are very different celebrations, but are also celebrated almost in the same day. And both celebrations are about death and spirits coming back to Earth. I mean, Halloween comes from the Irish people, the Celts, and Dia de Muertos comes from the Aztecs. They are very different cultures, but they celebrated death in the same day, almost in the same day. It's like old people know something for sure. Anyway, despite their very different, they have some similarities, very curious similarities. But today we have a top 7 things that make Halloween different and Dia de Muertos. So let's go with the video. Number 1, the most obvious one, different origins. As I said, Halloween comes from Celtics, which are Irish and Scottish. They came to the US and they started celebrating Halloween since I think 1840 or something. But this celebration is way older, way older than that. But also Dia de Muertos is a really old celebration. By the way, I published a video talking about that if you wanna go see it. Anyway, Dia de Muertos comes from the Mexicas or the Aztecs, which they believe in some days dead people come back to Earth to visit us. And it was like a party just for them, because they were visiting us and we were happy about that. Which again is really curious that two different cultures very far away one from another celebrated death in almost the same day. I mean, they had different conceptions of death, but they celebrated death. Number 2, the use of fire. In Dia de Muertos, fire is used to attract the souls of the dead people. Because again, it is a celebration. You want your family and friends which are dead to come back to your home, so you use fire to attract them, to guide them. But in the other side, in Halloween, you use fire to scare dead people. Because these are bad spirits like witch and evil spirits, so you use fire to scare them. It's the same element but used with very opposite purposes. Number 3. In Halloween, the spirits come back to Earth to scare people and make them damage. I believe that the Celtic people believe that the spirits came to take possession of different bodies and make them evil, like in The Exorcist or something like that. But in Dia de Muertos, the spirits come back to see again their family and friends. This is the only day they are supposed to be allowed to enter back Earth, and they just want to see their family, having a good time with them and eating and drinking the things that they like when they were alive. Maybe Irish spirit just wanted to have fun, we will never know. Number 4. In Halloween you take, but in Dia de Muertos you give. Trick or treat is a representation of alive people giving food to the dead people for them to not damage them. I don't know if I say it well. Trick or treat is a representation of alive people giving food and things to the dead people for not be hurt, like an offering of peace. So in Halloween you go get your costume and you ask for candies and things like that. But in Dia de Muertos is the other way. You are the one that have to give to the dead people because they are visiting you. We have an altar to our family and friends that have passed away and give them the things that they like to eat and drink when they were alive. Like for example, if your aunt used to like fried chicken, you give her fried chicken in the altar for her. Something like that. In Mexico, it's not a day to receive, it's a day to give. Number 5. In Halloween, you get accustomed to scare the bad spirits and the witches. It is believed that you have to be ugly to scare them. Your house has to be ugly to scare bad spirits. That's why they decorate like that. In Dia de Muertos, it's not common to get a costume, but you can do it to represent death. Like for example, the Katrina costume. Katrina is the best example of that. Number 6, my favorite one. Pumpkin pie versus pan de muerto. You know what pumpkin pie is, the best thing the white man ever invented. But pan de muerto is like the Mexican version of that. Kinda. It is like the traditional dessert for these days. And it is also really good. I don't know what is it made out of, but it is really good. But I don't like it because when I was a kid I thought it was made of dead people, because pan de muerto literally means bread of the dead. I mean, like it was made out of a dead body. So I actually don't like it. I mean, it is really good. I admit it is really good, but I don't like it for that reason. Anyway. And different number 7, representation in movies and in pop culture. Halloween is way more famous than Dia de Muertos. It has like 1,000 movies or more, but Dia de Muertos I think is getting more famous in the last years. Because we all have seen Coco. It's a really good movie, by the way. But you can also watch a Mexican movie called La Leyenda de la Nahuala, which is another movie that talks about it. And I think that's it. I mean, there should be, of course, more movies about Dia de Muertos, but the most famous one are these ones. So worldwide, Halloween is way more famous than Dia de Muertos. But I also think Europeans and Americans and Canadians are getting more interested in Dia de Muertos and in Mexican culture in general. So this is a really small video for you to understand a little bit more about Dia de Muertos. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like, and also comment down below if you have ever celebrated Halloween or Dia. Here in Mexico, the big majority still celebrates Dia de Muertos, but Halloween is getting more and more popular. And it is like a mix, because here in Mexico we get accustomed go to parties and also celebrate Dia de Muertos. I don't know how do you do it in the USA and in Canada, if you also celebrate Dia de Muertos and Halloween. I think you only celebrate Halloween. But I would love to know if you celebrate Dia de Muertos. Also, the Latinos out there, which are not from Mexico, do you celebrate Dia de Muertos? Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and as always, I see you in another one. Bye, people.